Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump right in. Got a lot of stuff to cover, so we got about 5 pages, something like that. You're doing a lot right, but there's definitely some things you need to shore up and improve, and we'll definitely get into all that. So let me just cover some more generic stuff up top. The way Google My local SEO in general, I should say, works is it has three main ranking main factors. Now, of course, the main Google algorithms come into algorithms come into play with, the dozens and dozens of ranking signals, hundreds and hundreds, whatever it might be. But these three are specific to local. So relevance, like how relevant, obviously, is the search term, is the result to the search term. So that's pretty kind of just common sense. Proximity. So you are in, I spend a lot of time on these, so I kind of forget what I'm doing sometimes. That's right, Portland. So if somebody is searching from, let's say your location is in North Portland, right? And let's say somebody from south side of Portland, or 10 miles south of Portland is searching for a real estate agent. You're a lot less likely to show up because there's probably multiple real estate agencies between them and you, right? So that's a huge factor, is just proximity, how close the business is to the person searching. And then prominent. So this, Google, to determine results, Google looks at all around the web. It doesn't just look at your web page. So are you mentioned in other places on the web? Are you mentioned in newspapers? Is your address consistent across citations or like directories, so it can have confidence that it's displaying the right results? I like to call that a web footprint. So that's what that means. So here's just some notes to show how important Google My Business is. 50% of Google My Business pages earn at least 100 views per month. A lot of people don't. I think most people think that they might get like 50 views, and it's actually a lot more. And this was from last year, so this is just increasing every year. 84% of businesses are found with discovery searches. So not typing your business name, typing in real estate agent Portland, right? So it's very important to get the proper keywords on your web page and your Google My Business profile, and not just keywords, the concepts, the way words work together. I do a general SEO audit if you're interested in that. It gets into that in a lot of detail. It's not just keywords anymore. It's topics. It's keywords that are words that are frequently found together. It's conceptual type stuff. It's not just word. So that's a whole other topic though. And then website clicks are up in my Google My Business about 30% from 2018. And this again is last year's statistic. So if I had to estimate, I would say it's probably like 40%, right? It's just becoming more and more popular. You really can't exist on the web as a business without being in Google My Business. Okay, so here's a problem you have. So this isn't specific to local SEO, but Google is rolling out presently Core Web Vitals. So this is going to determine how fast it thinks your website is, right? It's not gonna rank results that have slow websites. And you keep in mind, you might think, well, what does that have to do with my Google My Business listing? Well, Google My Business listing needs to reflect your website. And if your website's really slow, Google, it makes sense, would understand people are ultimately or possibly going to click on your website link in your profile, so they're not going to display that result, right? So this is a ranking signal. And again, this is kind of this isn't really local, but these are the Core Web Vitals, and these are things you need to work on. So this is a waterfall chart. You can see this PNG file. For some reason, it's taking this PNG file, which is over a meg. That's why it's taking so long to load. So that's this. Whoops, sometimes it bugs out. Let me do that and that. This. So this, there's no reason this should be 1.7 meg. You want this down. This could get down to like 50K or something. And then you can click here. Largest contentful paint, and you can see where this is getting slowed down. It's this top image here, right? So this is taking a long. It loads, then it puts some kind of green, like a green layer on top, then it loads again. So this is what's triggering that metric. So that's something you want to look into. I'm not going to go into too much detail there. If I could suggest one thing as something to do moving forward when you're trying to improve any of your SEO, any of your marketing, any of your local SEO, non-local SEO, marketing, performance, anything. Always look and see what the competition's doing, right? So if you want to rank for Agent Portland, and you sent me your three main competitors, What are they doing that's working? Use a tool like Ahrefs to see which of their pages are ranking the highest, and go see do you have pages that are on those topics, right? And again, this is getting more and more off of local SEO, but just wanted to give you an idea. And then so you could search this and then look at the top results that come up. Go to those, right? So you want to look at your competitors, you want to look at the top ranking results, and I also like to look at top ranking results in bigger cities. I always do New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, because those are generally very highly competitive, right? And just one quick way you can do something is use an extension like I have, SEO Quake, and go here. And you can go to page info. And this is just one way you can kind of get an idea of the keywords being used. Homes for sale, Portland Real, Stevens, Southwest Washington. So none of these, you could use like, are you using the word Portland Metro, right? So that's not that big of a deal, but you get the idea. That's that. And you check for high quality, high traffic topics. And I can get into this in a lot more detail. You could use like Ask the Public, or you could just search for real estate. And you could turn on keywords everywhere. Let's do this. So see here, these people also ask as really good ways, good ideas for content. And this is the content you would want to use in your Google post, right? Or in the content for your website. Generally, I do my content for my website. I make those Google posts and I just link to that content. And you're doing a pretty good job of that. So these are things, and you can go over here and use Uber Suggest, and there's Google keywords everywhere down here. So that's a whole other topic, but hopefully you get the basic idea. I would use Bright Local, which is a really cool tool. Just Google Bright Local. It's a paid tool. So what a lot of people do though is they'll just use the free trial. Last I checked, you don't need a credit card. It's either 7 or 14 days. And below I'm going to do a free citation scan from Moz. This does a lot more in depth of a citation scan. You can manage all of so that's the main thing I would use it for, to do the citation scan and like an audit, right? If you buy it, you can do like, manage all your reviews in one place, and you can do all kinds of stuff. But that's to me, that's the best feature. But the big thing, the free point, is just kind of do that audit and see what's going on, right? Okay, one of the first things I found was, this is going to, like I said earlier, Google doesn't just use what's on your page. It uses the entire web to understand the context of your company. Is it getting a lot of bad reviews on Yelp? Is it mentioned on CNN or Fox News or in your local newspapers, little trade industry magazines, et cetera, et cetera. One thing I found, and I know your business name is Integrity Homes, Portland, Keller Williams, Portland. So I guess Integrity Homes is a Keller Williams company, is how I would read that. And it says all offices are independently. Now where Google's going to get confused and you're going to get penalized, not penalized, because you're not getting an official penalty, but what's hurting you in the rankings is, I search for your address, and there's a lot of business entries that come up as Keller Williams Realty Portland, Keller Williams, and I know, and then this Dennison Group, I'm not sure if that's the same one. Bottom line is you need to be 100% consistent with your business name across all of these locations on the web, and you definitely have a problem with that. So you need to go each one of these citation sources or mentions or whatever you want to call it, and you need to. I would suggest doing Integrity Homes Team, right? So whatever it's going to be, it needs to be consistent. And your Google My Business profile is even something different. It's We Know Portland. Yeah, We Know Portland Real Estate Agents. And you definitely want to take real estate agents off, and I'll get to that in a little bit. So this is a big problem. This is something that needs to be taken care of. Same thing. Let me go to this one real quick. Duplicate phone number, same thing. I just typed in your phone number. You can do all different kinds of variations up here to see what's going on. You can see We Know Portland here. Well, first, Integrity Homes, We Know Portland. So this is your website. This is Manta, which I know is some type of directory. Then Blueberry Hollow, whatever that is. So this is all stuff. This needs to be 100% consistent. Because how does Google have confidence it's displaying the right result? And how does it have confidence that you're not trying to rig the system by using, specific keywords in your listing or in other places, right? So this is a big problem. The other thing that companies do, and it works, sadly, that's why people do it, Portland, let's do this. Let's go to maps. So what we're going to do now is you want to make sure your competitors aren't gaming the system, right? So real estate agent near Portland. So according to the Google My Business guidelines, whatever the title of your business is, whatever the business, I should say business name is here, needs to be exactly what appears on your webpage. You'll notice if you go read a lot of studies, and you can just do it on your own, a lot of businesses that appear on the top of the listings are stuffing their business name with keywords. Portland real estate agents, right? Portland homes for sale. Portland real estate group. Now that might be the actual business name for this one. That sounds pretty legitimate. Redfin, Portland real estate agents. Now this is the name of this company is Redfin, I'm sure. So let's just take this. This is the one I looked at. So the Lou Group. If you go to his website, it just says, if I remember correctly, whoops, whoa. Oh, I opened the image. It's not good. So the Lou Group, it doesn't say, okay, well, it says real estate professionals, so they might be able to get away with that. But let me go to another one real quick. Keller Williams Portland, homes for sale by Victor Bubble. What is it? Bulbous. So Keller Williams. So this is totally different. So what basically, if you find these spammy entries using extra keywords, and it looks like there's a lot are from what I looked at, what you want to do is go to the listing, and you want to suggest an edit, and you want to come here, and you want to change the name of it to the Lou Group. You don't want to allow your competitors to get an advantage, because that makes a huge difference in results. And then you click. I wish I could close. No, okay, it's not going to let me to close that. Then you click save, and usually it takes effect pretty quickly, within a few, sometimes minutes, sometimes a few hours. If it doesn't, there's other ways to put it in front of employees' eyes at Google. So basically, then what I would do is go to the Google My Business forum, mention it, and there's like a forum you can use, all kinds of stuff. That's one of the things I would do immediately. You don't want to allow your competitors to be gaming the system. Also, you can get every so often Google purges a lot of Google My Business profiles for spamming, and sometimes you'll get a warning. Sometimes it just gets wiped out and puts companies in a really bad situation, thousands at a time. I would immediately go and change this to, well, first of all, I would change it to Impact, what was it? Integrity Homes Team, and 100% get rid of real estate agents, because you're playing with fire. And I've had clients get banned. I've had sometimes you can get it overturned, but it can take a while. I've had probably, I would say about 25% never can get overturned. And you can imagine how much of an effect that has on your business. So don't do it. It's a horrible practice. It's against Google policy. It's against Google guidelines. And there's no reason to take that risk. Well, there's a reason to take that risk, but you should not be taking that risk. Keep your socials up to date. So I noticed by going to yours, you keep Twitter up to date, and you're not going to get much traction from Twitter, but at least it's a social signal, so it's good that you're doing it. A lot of these, Vimeo, Active Rain, these obscure ones, you're not using them, so get rid of them. The main ones I would focus on is Facebook. Instagram would be pretty good. Pinterest probably. And I use a tool called Buffer, where the free version allows you to type it once and it automatically posts to Facebook and Twitter. That's the free version. They have a paid version where you can post it on other ones, right? But you could pay for tools all day and be paying $500 a month for tools. Everything I use is free. So I would focus on this one, Instagram, LinkedIn, of course, Pinterest, maybe, and then YouTube. And you really, I guess I should show you this. I actually should have moved this. This guy is amazing when it comes to marketing for local real estate agents. He puts out really good videos all the time. Let me see if I can zoom in. Best examples of personal branding. He gets into Twitter. He gets into how to script YouTube videos. So this is all really good. So YouTube videos are really powerful. It helps build that brand awareness, and it helps with the social proof, and it makes sense that Google would rank a company the higher that does a lot of videos. I think you had one video, so you're at least at a minimum you're not active with it. So this is the kind of stuff you want to do. Real estate for beginners, right? This person, a lot of these. Let me see. I'm sure most of these guys obviously are real estate agents, right? Well, not that guy. As I say that, he's not. Graham Stephan. So a lot of these guys are SEO and marketing people as well. But that's good. This is increasing, again, your web footprint as well. And imagine if somebody's deciding to do business with you or not, and they go see you have all these really cool videos. That's really going to be a point in your favor. That's what a lot of marketing firms do. They put out a lot of how-to videos and stuff, and they build up that trust, and then you'll find out those people end up doing business with those companies. So that's a big thing you could work on too. But only post social channels that you are actually using, right? Don't let it just look sloppy otherwise. And in case you didn't know, these days, if you post something on Facebook, very few people that follow you are going to see it, just because Google weighs it differently and they want businesses to advertise. So most of business posts get buried, right? So it's kind of almost a waste of time these days. But at a minimum, it's a social signal. Where are we at? Okay, that's that. Yeah, one thing, this just kind of helps. This site structure and siloing in general is a very important SEO concept. One minor thing that people do, and for some reason some people often see improvements, just link to your GMB profile on your website somewhere. So that's something you could do down at the bottom, like you did with your other social profiles. It kind of helps Google establish, well, it should be pretty obvious because your Google My Business profile is linking to your webpage, but for some reason it's a little trick and it seems to work sometimes. Now, again, that's not a huge deal, but there's no reason not to do it. I forget what I write here because I take a long time doing these. Put your location information in. Okay, so your business description's pretty good. There's a term called use whatever Google gives you. So if Google gives you 800 characters for something, you want to be as close as possible to use all 800. In this case, they give you 750 and you're using 749. That's really good. Now, in here, you want to make sure you use the locations, which you're doing, but you also, in this description, want to use your services. And your services is very concerning to me. I can't edit it. Looks like these got suppressed by Google, which is a big problem because usually that's a sign that Google's comparing your website with your profile and it doesn't see a match, or it could be that it detects as a spam. And these aren't services at all, right? These are just listings. So you need to go here. I can't edit it. So if you got locked out, that's a bigger problem. And I could help you maybe. I've never actually seen this before. Best thing to do, go to the Google My Business support forum, type in, give them a screenshot and say, why are these locked out? But what you want to do is your services, you want to have these in your business description as well, right? I would put any attributes like black owned, veteran led. First of all, are all these true? Are you black owned? Are you veteran led, et cetera, et cetera? All these things that you want to put. Attributes aren't as important as the services and any products you have. And you don't have products, and that makes sense. Well, you could add new listings. That would be something that some real estate agents do. And basically, you just kind of copy and paste the image from the listing on your website. The top paragraph, then link to your listing on your website. So it's no big deal. It's really easy. But again, that's not a big deal because you're not selling like headphones and stuff. But I would do it because at a minimum, your knowledge panel over here, let's see, why is that? Okay. This is screen real estate. This is essentially a big ad, right? So there's no reason not to take up, if you have photos here, like products here, photos down here, all kinds of stuff, and you have your posts here, which is good. It just takes up more screen real estate, right? So as people scroll down, they might see a picture of a house over here they like, and it could lead them potentially to your website. So all these little things, there's definitely some big things, but all of these little things do add up and they do make a difference, right? So I can see me doing this and seeing. I've always wanted to live in a log cabin, for example. If I saw a log cabin over here, and obviously I don't think you sell log cabins, but if you did, I would go over there and click on it. That goes to your website. And that generates more traffic. Now, again, this goes off into more general SEO stuff, but the more traffic you get to your website, and people are actually finding your website useful, the higher you're going to show up in the rankings when somebody searches for real estate agent Portland, because you're proving to Google that what the topical relevance, and there's also geographical relevance on your websites, is very not related, is very specific. That's not the right word, but very specific. It answers the query that the person searching on, because a lot of people are clicking on your website. That's why content is very important. Not that you want to write content, but content drives people to your website. Are they going to buy houses from you? Probably not. But the more traffic, the more people you get visiting your website, and they stay on your website and look at stuff, the higher you are going to appear in rankings. So that's the whole point behind content. And it builds up topical authority and geographical authority. So don't want to go too much of a tangent there. Okay, add your location to your services. Okay, so yeah, this goes back to your services, and I don't know what's going on here. So I would get this done, and I would do like Portland real estate consultation, or whatever the different things are. But I got to figure out why this is happening. I'm sure you're getting, now again, the word penalized may not be the right word, but you're getting dinged, let's say, for having these weird things down here. And I don't even, oh wait, are those your categories? Maybe it looks like they, okay, yeah, because normally categories has its own thing. I just noticed that I didn't see any. Okay, let's do this real quick. And we're going to get into this in more detail, categories. I'm just totally, yeah, that's weird. It didn't have the little label next to it. That might be what that is. My guess is it's going to have that one category, which you have here, real estate consultant. So why is this here? Yeah, see, these aren't services. Why didn't my extension work? Okay, let's just go up here. I have a backup. Yeah, look, so it doesn't detect you're using any category. So that's a huge, huge problem. Okay, and we're going to get into these tools here in a bit. So that's whatever is going on there, it needs to be fixed as soon as possible. Another thing, now this goes back to site structure. It helps Google relate service to website, list, where things are on the website. As you put your services here, you want to make sure you have specific landing pages for those services up here, right? So you have, let's say, first time home buyer consultation. You need to have a landing page or a dedicated page to that topic, right? Same thing for these other ones. New home construction consultants. Now it looks like you're kind of, well, maybe not. I was going to say keyword stuffing a little bit. I'm not sure. I'd have to think through that, but I think that's actually okay now that I am thinking about it here on the spot. But each one of these need to have dedicated landing pages. And then to understand the keywords you need to use on it and stuff, search for this. And again, this gets kind of out of scope for what I'm doing here. Go here. And the easiest thing is go to SEO Quake, go to page info, and kind of see what keywords are being used. And buyer consultation, free home. Okay, none of these aren't that good, but there's other things to do. But that's the quick, dirty way to kind of see what's going on. Just to show you one other way, real quick. You could go to SEO I think is it SEO Optimize? I never can remember. So this uses AI to determine based on this content. Oh, there's actually not a lot on this page. Oh, because it's just a contact page. Okay, this is gonna be more keyword rich. Okay, good. So SEO Quake, page info, because it ranks high. So this is Google likes it. Portland neighborhood, buyer consultation, Portland, sky blue Portland, home, puts the Portland back. Well, okay, so those aren't really that good, but you can use this. Where'd it go? Right here. So this uses AI to determine based on this content, what are some common keywords that are appearing. So home buying, lender, the keyword lender. So you get the idea. And again, this is kind of off topic, but I want to give you some general ideas. Let me pause this real quick. Okay, I wanted to turn those notifications off in case something personal came up or something odd. That's important. Oh yeah, put that there. I do full SEO audit, so if you're interested in that. I kind of said that a lot. I feel like I'm trying to plug. I'm not, honestly not really trying to plug that much. Let me pause it real quick. Okay, I thought I maybe duplicated something, but this is a whole different thing. Address inconsistency. So Moz has this free local scanner. Now, if you use Bright Local, you would have a tool that does this as well, but it's a lot better. I mean, this is good. This gives you a good general idea of what's going on. But if you had to pay for Bright Local to do this, like month after month, I would probably say don't do it. But since you can use it for free for 7 or 14 days, I would do it. So your online presence score. So this is where things are getting confused at probably, because it doesn't know based on the criteria, integrity, homes, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't see that, it doesn't think you show up in Google Maps, Google search. Make this bigger. So it does find Facebook, but this needs to say integrity homes. Or everything, so like I said before, everything needs to be consistent across the board. So this, anytime you say NE, it needs to be NE, not, see, this says Northeast, this says NE, it needs to be 100% consistent. Your phone numbers need to be consistent. See, this phone number at Juicy Book, whatever that is, right, is a totally different number than US City. Now, you don't want to get too bogged down on all these citations. Like, I would not put my business in all these citations, but these other ones, I would either go delete them. I mean, the more you have, the better. And you can use a tool like Bright Local to manage all this stuff, but it's the 80-20 rule, right? You're going to get 80% of your traffic from 20% of the websites. So see, this is Davison Home Group. So this is all over this is Home EC. So this is all over the map. This is really, really bad stuff. So you want to get on top of this. Like, you don't have a Bing listing. I think that's my next point, actually. So you're not on Apple Maps. You're not on Bing Places. You're not on Yahoo Local, which feeds to DuckDuckGo. Facebook's confused. Google's confused. Yelp, I don't know if Yelp, actually, I think, yeah, it does reply to real estate agents. So you need, and these are some niche directories for real estate agents. Realtor, Yellow Pages. So again, you may not want to get, actually, is that, yeah, for real estate agents. So you'd want to research all these and see if it's worth spending your time on these. For sure, Realtor, I think, would be. Trulia, Trulia is more, as far as I know, it just lists homes. Like, I don't think it actually is a directory for. Anyway, you need to go through these, and it just needs to be consistent, whatever it is. And if you have, let's say you're on homes.com, and let's say homes.com, and I have no idea what homes.com is. Okay, it's a home search engine. If your rating, assuming they have ratings on this, is like 1 out of 5 stars, I can't prove it, but Google has told us they search the entire web to determine what to rank. It would make sense that that's going to affect your ranking as well, right? So this stuff is all really, really important. Okay, moving along. How much more do we have? Okay, we're getting pretty quick because you're doing, the overall feel is good. It's just you're not taking it to that next level, and that services categories issue in Google My Business really concerns me, and that's something I would get on immediately. Okay, this is that guy that I told you about on YouTube. He's really, really good. There's very few people I set up alerts for. One of my clients, coincidentally, was a commercial real estate agent in, what's the name of the city? Out there in Oregon. I can't remember the name of it doesn't matter. And she's doing a lot better now, so but this is one I suggested she got alerts for, and she would get an alert every time this guy posted. His videos are usually pretty short. Doesn't mean you're gonna have time to watch them all, but that's how good I think his content is, and it's specific to real estate agents. Check competitors, high ranking results, category. Okay, totally forgot. Don't even know what I typed there, but there is a really cool extension called Plepper, P-L-E-P-E-R. And there's also this other one called GMB Spy. Okay, real estate agents near Portland. So this is really good. So based on this query, these are the most common Google My Business categories people are using. So are you using real estate agency? And yours looks messed up. So It's very strange. So you need to make sure you're using this one, this one, this one, this one. Well, real estate rental may not make sense, but at least these three. So the way you can tell to find out so what your competitors are using, and I would do this for my competitors, other high-ranking local results, and then other high-ranking results, like I said, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, or any similar markets maybe. But you just click on it over here. See, I'm over here, and click on the words, and that brings up this, and you can see they're using just real estate agency. Or you could click on Google My Business Spy up here, real estate agency. So let's go back. And it's kind of weird. It used to just open a panel here. Like you'd click on it, it would open a panel over here. It wouldn't go to that other page. So this is kind of annoying. But Living Room Realty, real estate agency. Okay, it's just using real estate agency. Real estate agency, real estate agents. Okay, are using both of those. Donberry, Griffin, Portland real estate agents. So you get the idea. But generally, if you just search for what you are, you can get the most common used ones here without going into any more depth or clicking through on any of these. So you want to keep an eye on these. Also, you want to look at attributes, right? See what attributes your competition's using and make sure you're using all these if they're applicable. And attributes, once a month, you need to go through as you're monitoring your performance, which I'll get into here in a little bit, and make sure your attributes are up to date, because Google's always adding new attributes, right? So black owned, you were set as black owned. Let's say you're a black owned business, and let's say you didn't have that set and Google rolled it out, let's say last month. And if you never go back and see what Google's adding, then you never maybe would have known that. So what I like to do, I meant to cover this up front, go to home, and just once a month, set a calendar reminder, because I should say I forget, and I'm always too busy with stuff. Come here and see what Google's talking about. This was all really important, this COVID stuff, right? Update availability, average, and hours, and COVID updates. Get more reviews, and this is something I'm going to talk about here in a little bit. Connect with video. Did you know you can connect in real time with video? So that's a fairly new feature. So there's all kinds of, look here, celebrate with black-owned businesses. Now you're using that, right? Unless there's something else. But this is where they're going to release, post new information, new features and stuff like that. So you need to stay on top of all this. And just go once a month, go through these. Let's look at it. Okay, yeah, so I thought, here's the categories. What's going on? This is messed up. Yeah, it just threw me off because it says real estate consultant here. Obviously, yeah, I don't know why I didn't think that. Categories are definitely up here. So yeah, it just threw me off because all this was grayed out, and this obviously isn't well, actually, yes, it could be a service, but that just threw me off. So anyway, it all needed to figure out whatever's going on. So where was check competitors, categories and attributes? That's what that is. So Plepper, you can just go to, has a really good website related to Google My Business. So you can, you can just go to this website. There's all kinds of good stuff. This is a full category list, and it's insane. Look, this is starting with A. So African goods store, right? Look how many there are just with A. I mean, it's ridiculous. So what I would do, I think you got them mainly covered, but maybe you're running another business or something. You can just go here. Let's say you're Italian restaurant. You can just go, looks like it hung up. There we go. I don't even know how to spell restaurant. I think it's restaurant, right? And you can just see over here all the categories with restaurant in it. And you just want to make sure you're covering them all. Because what you'll find is there's pizza restaurants will have just Italian restaurant, or Italian restaurants will just have pizza restaurant. So there's pizza restaurant, Italian restaurant, family restaurant, etc., etc. So that's that. But I think you got most of them covered with those three. And I think there was a fourth one, but you need to go back and look at that. That's okay. That's exactly. I thought I mentioned it above. That's what that is. So track. So this is, I use my own. There's all kinds of reporting tools and tracking tools. Most of them are ridiculous and useless. I would not pay any money for them. The best thing to do, man, is to create a spreadsheet. Come to Insights once a month. You don't got to do it once a week, right? Any SEO thing, any SEO metric, or KPI, some people like to say, is if any changes to those things, you don't want to act on them month to month, because Google can sometimes take 2 to 3 to 4 months to make changes. So if you change, basically what I'm saying is, if something changes week to week, it's irrelevant. You want to track it month to month, and if something trends down for, I guess you may do 2. I do 3 months. That's when you want to act upon it. I would not act upon anything if it trends down for just a few weeks or even up to 2 months, right? Because it could be Google, it's good testing stuff, or something's going to recover. It could be seasonal. Who knows? So this is once a month. Just check how many people have accessed your website directly. You're using discovery, branded searches, right? Most branded is all often really generally it's discovery. So there's people that just type in real estate agents. You want to track how many times you've shown up in listings on Google Maps, how many have visited your website from your Google My Business profile, requested directions, how many have called you, right? And this is obviously stuff on your website. You want to track conversions as well. So that's all very important. So this is month to month, a spreadsheet. January 2021, I got 20 visits, right? Next month, next row. February 2021, I got 22 visits. So things are going in the right direction. If you don't have a general idea of how things are progressing, then you don't know if what you're doing is working, right? And you may be doing this already, right? But it's just something that a lot of people overlook, and it's like, how can you measure? How do you know if something's working if you don't measure it, right? So that's something you want to. So I just get all these, right? It takes 5 minutes. It's very, very simple. Okay, so all your services, not only do you need to have landing pages for your services, where are you at here? Any service, any keyword you're focusing on needs to be, let me go back to your homepage, like it was first time buyer consulting, whatever the exact verbiage was, I don't remember. That needs to be listed here. So I would have a paragraph about that, because that's telling Google that what you're saying you are, you actually are. It's establishing that bond between your Google My Business profile and your webpage. I also 100% would go, goes back to your competitors, top local results, national top results. Let's see what they're talking about. I want to know what their top pages are, what their most common search queries are. And you can use a tool called Ahrefs. Now it's a paid tool. Did I spell that right? And this, again, it's something you can, I think they have a free trial. If they don't, it's expensive. It's like $70 a month or something. I have a group buy that I do it with, and you may have access to it. I don't even know. That's fine. But in everything I learned on Ahrefs, I just went to YouTube and learned it, right? So it's not really that complex. Yeah, 7-day free trial for $7. This is something I would use for $7. Well, first of all, I would go to YouTube, spend 2 to 3 hours learning the basic features of it, and get the basic information on your competitors' top pages, their keywords, what you're ranking for, what you can rank better for, common keywords in your industry, et cetera, et cetera. Put all that in spreadsheets, then don't sign up for the paid version. That's good. You could do that over and over again, year to year, if you wanted. But that's going to give you a general, things aren't going to change that much. What's ranking high for real estate agent now is going to be ranking high for real estate agent next year and the following year and the following year. So what was I talking about? Yeah, so that's it. Look at you can get keyword information from your competitors, right? Obviously by using SEO Quake or just eyeballing it. But there's no easy way, as far as I know, without using a paid tool to look at their top pages. Because whatever their top page is, if you're not doing that, that's something you want to have a page on that topic because it's ranking well. You need to have you need to copy, not word for word. You need to have pages on the same topics that your competition's ranking highly for. And that's something Ahrefs could give you, or Moz, or many of the other tools. But I like Ahrefs. They're all kind of the same thing. That's that. Okay, get rid of meta keywords. So this is something I think Bing actually penalizes for it. This is something we used to do years and years ago because it was like full Google into thinking, just keywording opportunities. Just go to your page and get rid of these meta keywords. Whoops. Interesting. Okay, so you have some kind of weird shortcut there. Right here. So just take this line out of your web page. Spamming. I think Bing actually penalizes for it. And you may wonder, well, okay, nobody uses Bing, but a lot of people, when they want to do something, they'll come here and do Portland real estate agent, just because they don't want to open the Google web page and it takes extra time, save 2 seconds. So it's going to go to Bing, right? Other Microsoft apps do it, and then Apple Maps on people's iPhones. They're using Apple Maps. Yahoo, not as big of a deal. But I would say, Google's probably 80, depending on who you listen to, between 75 and 90% of the market share. But you just need, and if you had to go tweak this month after month, I may not worry about it, but this is a one-time thing to register your business in all these directories. Totally free. There's no reason not to do it, because all you just need is one person on Bing to buy a multi-million-dollar house from you. And, it took you an hour to set up everything, right? So there's no reason not to do it. Okay, so hours. Now I have no idea if these are your real hours. I have no reason to believe they aren't accurate, but this is the special hours for holidays and stuff. Just make sure you go add this. These hours are outdated. It's 2020, so let's go ahead and remove those. This is something month to month you would catch if you were checking these things. Okay, moving right along. Messaging is a big thing, so you can come here. It's weird. Sometimes they're hiding it on some profiles, which I don't understand why. Maybe it's because I have limited access. There should be a messaging icon over here, and basically what it is, and you may have it set up already, but if somebody searches for your business, there will be a button here. It used to be only on mobile, but I think they do it in desktop now. Where'd it go? Down here, where they can message you. Like, there will be a button right here. You're just giving people more avenues to get a hold of you. There's no reason not to do it. But a problem can be if you don't respond to them, Google's going to remove it from your knowledge panel over here. Will that hurt you in the search ranking? I don't know. But you don't want to be ignoring the chat request. If you determine that you're not able to keep up with the chat request, then just disable the messaging. You don't want to use it. So photos. Photos are really good. I would have more photos. Your photos, I would make more sense for me to have pictures of your houses. And you may even want to put a label of the house price on the photo. You're showing your photos more in your house photos. I think it was Facebook. Maybe it was Instagram. I don't remember. Even though Instagram didn't stay updated, so that's something you want to. Facebook was updated. So you might want to list the house then in text here $120,000 or whatever the price of the house is. I guess that'd be way too cheap for Portland. Here in Louisiana, $120,000 house isn't that bad, which is one reason I like Louisiana. So yeah, these are good pictures. This is good. This shows you the company. So I'm assuming these are the employees, obviously. Good logo. That's your cover. That's your logo. That's really good. Looks like this is a review. Can't really see that. But I do like for photos using reviews as photos. And you're doing that on Facebook, I believe it was. But you just want to, all real estate agents I've worked with, they list their houses here with the prices. Are people going to click through? I don't know. But it's showing at a minimum Google that you're using their tools, and it's taking up more screen real estate on the right. So that's what I would do. Because these are all just pretty generic pictures. Looks like it's probably just, stock photos. So I don't see any reason to have that. It's probably from a blog post or something. Now, videos are really big. So what I would do is for your houses, do tours of the houses. Now, is that too much work? Maybe, but that would be really awesome. It's something I would absolutely. I don't think I should have looked. Let's go here. Let's go to search by map. And some of these houses are really cool. It's funny. I saw one that I liked listed immediately, and I read it like it was $300,000, and I looked closer, and it was like $1,300,000. I'm like, wow. I think this is it right here. Let me just load this up. I want to check something. Yeah, this isn't one of the ones I saw, but anyway. So here, and you don't need to hire a professional anymore. Just take your camera, walk around. You don't even need to be a video editor. Just, do it while you're there. And you could hire a video editor, but you don't need to anymore. And I like videos that are just kind of rough cut anyway, right? It just seems more natural. I think we're out of the stage, fortunately, in marketing where things, I shouldn't say we're out of it, but a lot of people a lot of people just like real. We're not into all this over the top crazy stuff. So I would add the video here, and I would add the video to Google My Business. Now this goes back over to general SEO stuff here, so we're not going to get into that, but I would definitely do that. Now, if you list like 80 new houses a day, that's going to be crazy, right? But if you do 2 a week or something like that, you're going to have to go to the house to do, I'm assuming, inspections or talk to the seller or buyer or whatever. So there's no reason you're going to be there. You might as well do it while you're there. When you're uploading photos in the metadata, so actually, I don't want to bring up my file system, but if you right click on a photo, it's going to bring up that, the metadata. In the title, I like to use the main keywords. In the subjects, I use a variation of the keywords of what the picture is. Comments, in the comments, I put my business name and location information. In the authors field, right? So this is, I can't remember the name of it. Like every image has metadata associated with that you can edit. Geotagging, I believe is the term. Website URL and GPS, put the GPS coordinates, right? Because this helps Google understand the photo, right? It helps also bring that to build that topic, that location relevant. So Google know that photo is on, Feather Street in Portland, Oregon, right? So this is how I upload my photos, and it seems to work. It's kind of, you're just using your keyword more, your business name, all that stuff. Reviews are extremely critical. You're doing actually a really good job. One of the biggest things that people I work with don't do that you're doing a really good job of is your reviews. Your responses, a lot of them are very personal. The apple butter, right? So this is really good because it shows that you remember this person. It's not just, customer 3 or something. And if I was looking to buy a house, I would see this and this would impress me. So in every response, you don't have it for all of them, but your responses do sound really, really emotional in a positive way, so that's really good. But I definitely, anytime, add something about the person. Like, hope you enjoy the Trailblazers game. Hope hope your new dog Joey enjoys the new house. That kind of stuff, because it shows that you care. It shows that you're, you're, like I said, you're not. These aren't just customer 1, 2, and 3. So that's really good. These are really, really important. You've been in business, I believe, since 2008. So it's very not good that you only have 20 reviews, and you need to respond to all positive and all negative. And I believe you are, I think all the ones I checked, you responded to. That's really good, right? And it's a lot better than just saying, thank you for your business, come again, right? That's horrible. These are really, really good. But just make sure you're aware that these reviews are important and the responses are important. I also like to include, if it sounds natural, my keywords in my review responses. You also could mention other services that you offer, kind of like you're kind of sneakily, is that even a word? Oddly, you're in a sneaky way cross-promoting other services you offer, if you offer anything other than just real estate stuff. I don't think you do, but it would make sense for like a carpenter. Like they fix somebody's, a plumber. Let's say they fix somebody's bathroom. Thank you for your business. Keep in mind, if you ever have a problem with that lovely pool that you have, we also fix, pool leaks or whatever. That's why that's important. Because if somebody's reading it, they see that you do those too. Maybe they need to do those too, and it also shows you're very versatile. So if you have anything like that's what you want to do. There's all these automated review solutions that after a customer client, whatever you want to refer to them as, 3 days, send them an email, and it's very generic. It's very boilerplate, and nobody leaves reviews. When you ask the review, make it very personalized, kind of like you're doing here. Mention something about them personal, and then ask for the review. If you're not asking, a lot of times you're not going to get it. Now, what you want to do to get those reviews, you don't want to just say, leave me a review, right? Because people, where did I put it? Oh, I didn't put it here. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to pause this let me show you. You want to send them directly to the place where they're going to leave the review. You don't want to just say, leave me a review. Some people don't know how to get to the review link, right? You want to put it right in front of their face. So what you do is review link generator, white spark. And so your company, I never can remember, Integrity Homes team. Okay, got them. Whoops. Oh, it's over here. Okay. Wait. Okay. So business name. So just go to integrity. I'm going to give you this link so you don't got to do this again. I just want to show you in case maybe. This worked earlier. Do this. This is very strange. Portland. Am I typing that right? This is very weird. Integrity Homes Team? I don't think I did that last time. Oh, it's right. It's We Know Portland. So you do that, and you can see it created this link. So we're going to copy that. And if this is the link you want to give to people, now I would hide it behind a short link. Give them the link like I would buy a domain. So it's We Know Portland. So I would buy the domain we know p.to. Then this would be Google for Yelp or what, the main ones. We know Portland.to Yelp. So these are the links you want to put on the business cards or on in the emails or the text messages you send. So let me show you what this link I generated does. It's going to take them directly to where they can leave the review. Just give it a second. Whoops. See, I didn't click anything. It's just taking a little moment to come up. So this pops them up right here. Right, and this is where they're going to leave the review. Hopefully I didn't leave it there. Discard the review. Yes. Now, if you feel comfortable enough, it's always helpful to get. You want as many keywords and topics and service names. I would just say keywords you're using in the reviews they leave. So if you could, a lot of times it's not appropriate to do it, but if it's something you've really if somebody you formed a good, maybe you're like now, I don't even know if it's appropriate in your industry, like become friends with them. If you could mention, whatever the keyword might be, right? New home consultant in the review, that would be good. So what I do, you always want the Google review. So I say leave a review here. If you could leave a review here, link, then you always want to offer one more. You don't want to do more than two because sometimes you might just want to do one. You just got to test it and see what works. I do two. So let's say I needed the other one on Yelp. I would do Google and then Yelp and leave those two. Then as I needed another one on, let's say, homes.com, I would leave it to Google and then homes.com. Always do two. I generally wait a few days, 3 days to ask for it. Obviously, you don't want to wait 6 months because what if they get there and the bathroom starts breaking and all that? You want to. So I do 2 to 3 days. If they don't respond, I wait, between a week and 2 weeks, and then send it again. If they don't respond, I leave it alone. I don't play with it. But reviews are really, really important, right? Just from as we think, a ranking signal, but it's also, what is it, like 85% of people read reviews before they're doing business with the company. So this is all really, really important. So let me go get that link. Where did hopefully I still have it. Let's do Windows V. Let's pop this up. I'm going to make a short link. I have a cool little extension where I can just click here. Let's wait for it to load. Actually, I think we're good. Let me do it again. So let me make sure. Okay, it's going. So again, I would put this behind that little short domain that I told you about. So that's that. That's your short link. Went over that. That went over that. So post these review screenshots to your social. Yeah, socials and your GMB posts, right? So your social media and your Google My Business posts. And then incentivizing employees is something that I never thought about. And then one of my clients did it, and it's working like magic. Offer anytime one of your employees gets a review, give them obviously like an Amazon gift card or the rest. Usually you want something unique, maybe give them like a tablet or something, like not just money. I guess people do like money, but it's cool to have like little giveaways of things, unique gifts and stuff, but stuff that really matter. Bottom line is employees are really gonna, if it's not your company, sometimes you just want to work 9 to 5 and go home. Let's be honest. Now, if you can incentivize them, whatever you feel comfortable, whatever that may be, you're going to start to see you're going to get a lot more of those, right? And they pay for themselves. You get more reviews, you're going to rank higher generally. Or anytime I say you're going to rank higher, I should say you're going to have a statistically more probable chance at ranking higher. You could have 8,000 reviews and you may rank on page 2, right? It's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way it is, because there could be other things dragging you down, like all of your services having those lines through them, which you currently have, which is very strange. And then go look at how your competition responds to reviews. Another thing that I should have pointed out. Let's get this company, Stephen Fitz. It's an interesting name, Stephen Fitzmaurice. So let's look at how he's responding to reviews. What I also like to do is look at the keywords in the reviews. Service, rates, these are the things the ones that are boldface. These are the things you want to focus on. So let's look at reviews. Whoops. It's not letting me do it over here. Okay, here we go. Whoops. Right, so look at these keywords. All, team, home, experience. Experience is a good keyword there. Then you can look at 6 more. But how are they? See, this is horrible. Really appreciate. This is not good. And this is why SEO is frustrating. Okay, this is good. So you can see, yeah, these are not good. But at least you can get an idea. These are also good ways to get keywords. If you can see what people are putting in the reviews, right? So this is all. There's so many reasons to look through this stuff. Okay, moving along. Yeah, we're almost at the end here. And where have we been going? Let me pause it real quick. Okay, so we're right at an hour, and that's generally about how long these take. So we're right on target. Local search ads are really, really good. So this is something you might want to consider. Basically, you'll just show up here with an ad next to your name. So this is different than Google AdSense, or not ads. I guess it's called just Google Ads now. And then when you do this, you don't want to show your ad to somebody that lives in Turkey or that lives in Dallas. So you want to use keyword targeting. You want to use negative keywords. You need to know what you're doing. Spend time looking through how to use the ad platforms, because a lot of people I work with, clients or just I shouldn't say coworkers, or people I have worked with, let's just say that, have not really known completely what they're doing and have thrown away so much money because they don't know how to properly configure these things. So that's that. And then backlinks are huge. So backlinks are important because it shows Google that your website's good. Now, you don't want to buy links. You don't want to do that, and I can get into that in more detail if you'd like. But especially if you can get links that are topically relevant, like links from like industry magazines, all that stuff, and links that are locally, geographically similar are really important, because that establishes that geographical relevance. So could you teach any classes, right? Donations, food drives, sponsorships, local business networking. You can help a reporter out with a topic on real estate. So this is all ways to get links. There's many other methods. Backlink building is really hard, really time consuming. A lot of times it doesn't pay off, but they are important. And there are some easy wins. If you have the money, maybe you can sponsor something, scholarships, all that kind of stuff. Now that's a lot of money, right? But this just give you some ideas. That guy on YouTube has a lot of good ideas that are very specific to real estate. And then questions and answers. I think this is my last thing. It is. So most people don't do this, but what you want to do is go to your profile and questions and answers. So is this you? Okay, this is you. You can ask the question and you can answer it. So it's like a frequently asked questions. Your competitor, where'd he go? Stephen Fitzmurray. I've never heard of a Fitzmurray. Whoops, I have it saved. Let's go here. Stephen Fitzmurray team. I think there was a few questions for him. No, there's not. Basically, what you want to do here is questions and answers. So you want to answer the most common questions. So you obviously have common questions that people ask over and over again. Will people see them down here? I don't know. I like looking at them, but that might be just because I do this for a living and I know they're there. But there's no reason not to do it. Spend a day, get the most common questions, put them all there, right? What you want to do, this goes back to the initial thing that I said, what are the questions questions and answers your competitors have. This will also give you good content ideas. The top ranking results in your area, then the top ranking results Los Angeles, Chicago, New York. That's what I do. And you could spend infinite amount of time on this, but you just have to spend your time wisely. So hopefully this has helped you. We are literally at 59 minutes and 51 seconds. A review is really appreciated. If there's something, and if you are going to leave a review, if you could cover a few things you found useful. This is what I'm asking you to do, is something that perhaps you could ask one of your customers to do. And I would just ask if there's something you're not satisfied with or something I didn't cover before leaving a negative review, just ask me and allow me to cover it, because I do like doing these and I spend a lot of time on them, and I hope to provide useful information. So thank you. Stay safe with all this crazy COVID going on. And I'm here for questions tomorrow, next week, next month. I'm not going to charge you questions 6 months down the road. I have people that I did these audits for years ago, and they're still like, hey, I have this. What do you think about this? Just to kind of run something off me. So that's no problem at all. So we'll see ya. Good luck.